Hey, welcome to your Vitamin B12 podcast, Extra Dose Bowl Preview Extravaganza. We are here previewing every Big 12 bowl game this postseason. As always, I'm Chris Armstrong. With me, EJ Hayes, Garrett Sauls. Right now, we are talking the Valero Alamo Bowl, January 2nd, the 9-3 Oregon Ducks taking on the 10-2 TCU Horned Frogs. Garrett, how are you feeling about these two matchups?
I
How these
like
teams match up?
I really like this one. This is another one of those fun Big 12, Pac-12 matchups. People think TCU and Oregon, they think points. I mean, you just think of pass-happy offenses, and the teams have changed a little. TCU may not be the TCU of last year. Oregon may not be the Oregon of old, but when it comes down to it, these two teams are very much what people perceive their identities to be. So this is going to be a really fun one. This is one of my favorite matchups in the whole bowl season to see these two teams go at it. I think we're going to see some really quality offensive football. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big story for me is the battle of the two quarterbacks. I mean, you have two guys. I'm not going to say Vernon Adams Jr. is anywhere in the same stratosphere as a healthy Boykin. However, when he's in the game, he was hurt in the middle of the season. To me, that is the big storyline for me is the two quarterbacks. If we get to see Boykin at 100%, true 100% Boykin, and Vernon Adams Jr. playing well, I think this could be an extremely exciting game. I mean, this could be fantastic. This is good stuff. This is like, PlayStation. The two teams you want to just score 150 points apiece. One big thing for me with the two teams was that Oregon beat Stanford at the very end, and that was a massive one. It was a college playoff implication in the same way that TCU beat Baylor. This was a big time win. Got him back into rankings. Got Vernon Adams Jr. back, healthy and playing well. So I think I believe the bowl matchup guys, the committee or whoever matched these two teams up extremely well. I'm very excited about this game. It'll be interesting. I think both of them don't know what a defense is. One out of injuries and one out of I don't care because I'm Oregon. But yeah, I think this is going to be fun.
Yeah. One thing about both these teams, again, just speaking of the mirror image thing, look at their rushing and receiving stats, and both distribute the ball pretty well. Obviously, TCU, I think the big X factor here, or the X factor that they're not going to have, is Josh Doxson. He's just an incredible receiver. They're not going to have him. He's out with an injury. He's just going to make himself healthy for the draft, is what everyone's assuming. But even still, they have Colby Listenby. They have some other guys that they throw the ball to. Trevon Boykin distributes the ball pretty evenly. And then on the rushing side, they've got guys like Turpin and company who rush really well, and they just give the ball to a lot of guys. Similarly, Vernon Adams Jr., they give the ball out pretty evenly as well. They, to no one's surprise, have a pretty good stable of running backs. I think they have like 8 guys with at least 100 yards, and one 1,700-yard back. And it's just, again, I think this just goes, again, to the quality offensive football. The best teams can pass it around like nobody's business, and the next guy will step up, and just play in that system. And I think that's what we'll see here. But I think the key to this one will be defense. I think TCU's had some time to rest. Oregon hasn't really played defense all season. TCU, we know, can play defense, but they just haven't due to injuries and other things. And I think TCU might have an X factor in coaching here. Gary Patterson, he's been in these situations a lot. And Oregon's new coach, whoever he is, I can't think of his name, so it must not be a big deal. But I don't think he's been in similar situations as Patterson has. And Patterson knows how to win. Patterson and TCU have also been in some close games. They almost beat OU. They did beat Baylor. They've come close. It could have been a very different season for them this year. And so I don't know. It'll be interesting. We'll find out. Only one way to find out,
So Boykin was hurt earlier in the season. He is going to play in this game. That's correct, right?
Yes.
All right. So this should be a good old-fashioned Big 12, Pac-12 shootout. Again, this is the first of two actually on this day back-to-back, so I am pretty excited to see this one as well. Just by the numbers, like I said, 9-3 Oregon, 10-2 TCU. The spread right now has TCU favored by 1 point, which is basically even. The over-under is 79, so a lot of points predicted to be scored here. EJ, how are you feeling? What's your gut saying about this one? And how do you feel about that over-under?
Over-under 79. You said that like that was actually high. That's actually not actually going to be as high as it's actually going to be. I'm going to say the over-under this
games in general.
Yeah, for Vegas. Yeah, the over-under on this is going to be actually closer to 110. So, I mean, we're going to score some points in this game, and it's going to be one of those Pro Bowl situations where we're chunking it deep. We're doing trickeration. One key thing that I'm going to start rattling off, when Vernon Adams Jr. came back, we've got a win over Washington, Arizona State, Cal, Stanford, USC, and Oregon State. So 6 in a row they rattled off at the end of the season. I'm going to say that Boykin, he showed a few chinks in his armor, not when he got injured. Obviously, when he got injured, he was very limited. That wasn't fair to him. But he showed a few chinks in his armor against a team that keeps coming at you. And so my gut is going to actually, with just simple momentum, is going to go with Oregon on this one. I think that I think they're just too high flying right now. TCU is trying to gain some ground, get their footing. I think Boykin, if he does his Boykin thing, it's going to make it interesting. But I think this is a true crazy All-American shootout, and it's going to be fun to watch. Oregon wins.
Oregon is too high flying. I see what you did there, Garrett.
I don't know. I personally don't think this is the Oregon of old. Don't get me wrong. Vernon Adams Jr. He's done a great job. I mean, obviously he's an impactful quarterback. He's going to have a great future, I think, assuming he's not a senior. Anywho, I think he's great. I think Oregon's great. I think they do a great job. But I think experience and coaching are going to be everything in this type of bowl game. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be high scoring. I think it's going to be all those things that EJ said it was going to be. But I think TCU will get at least 1 or 2 defensive stops, and it will be enough to push them just ahead of this high scoring affair.
All right, sounds good. Again, another Big 12, Pac-12 shootout in the Valero Alamo Bowl, January 2nd. First of 2, actually, that are back-to-back between these 2 conferences. Love these games. Hopefully the Big 12 can pull it out. TCU, we're really rooting for you here. Boykin, hope you're healthy. I'm really disappointed that Doxson doesn't get to play in this one. So, but that's just how it is. So thank you, EJ, Garrett. Thank you for joining us. Like I said earlier, we are previewing all of the Big 12 bowl games. So if you're watching this one, make sure to go watch these other ones. Even if the bowl games already happened, you can go watch them and just laugh at us at what we did wrong and be in awe of us of what we got right. So make sure to subscribe as well to your Vitamin B12, the channel. And we are wrapping this one up. Thanks, guys.
Go Frogs.